blood on the canvas, a mystery in the shadows, and a mastermind pulling strings in the darkness. What you're about to witness is not just another Raw recap, this is the moment everything changed. The moment Paul Heyman's chess game reached its most dangerous move yet. The moment a young star stepped out of the shadows and into the fire. And trust me, by the time we reach the end of this video, your jaw will be on the floor. But before we dive into this chaos, I need something from you. If you've ever felt that rush of adrenaline when your favorite wrestler's music hits, if you've ever jumped off your couch screaming at a near fall, then you understand what SLAMZONE is all about. We're not just covering wrestling, we're living it, breathing it, feeling every single moment with you. So do me a favor right now, hit that subscribe button. Not for me, but for yourself. Because when the next earth-shattering moment happens in WWE, and it will, you don't want to miss it. Turn on those notifications. Join this family. We're building something special here, and I promise you, we're just getting started. Now, let's get into this absolute madness. It all started at Survivor Series, War Games. The atmosphere was electric, the stakes were impossibly high, and CM Punk was standing in that double cage structure, ready to deliver the finishing blow. Team Punk versus Team Vision. Good versus calculated evil. And just when it looked like the Second City Saint was about to seal the deal, just when justice was about to prevail, the lights flickered, the crowd gasped, and from the shadows emerged a figure dressed entirely in black. Can you imagine being in that arena? The confusion, the fear, the absolute shock as this mystery man scaled that massive War Games structure like it was nothing. Every fan in that building held their breath. Who is this? Where did he come from? And then bam, a super kick that echoed through the arena. Before Punk could even process what was happening, the masked attacker delivered Seth Rollins' signature move, the stomp, with brutal precision. Punk crumpled. The crowd erupted in disbelief. Braun Breaker seized the opportunity, hit his devastating spear, and pinned the World Heavyweight Champion. But here's what made it even more chilling. This wasn't just some random interference. This was calculated. This was strategic. This was the work of someone who studies the game, who knows exactly when to strike for maximum impact. The mystery man didn't stick around to gloat or reveal himself. No, he disappeared back over that cage structure like a phantom, leaving everyone, the wrestlers, the commentary team, the millions watching worldwide, asking the same question: who was that? For weeks, this became the biggest mystery in WWE. Social media exploded with theories. Was it Seth Rollins himself, somehow recovered from his injury and exacting revenge? Was it a returning superstar from the past? Or was it someone completely unexpected? The speculation was driving the WWE universe insane. Every appearance on Raw, every backstage segment, fans were searching for clues like detectives trying to solve the crime of the century. And then he struck again. The following week on Raw, during a high-stakes match, that same black-clad figure appeared at ringside. This time, Rey Mysterio was the target. The master of the 619, a legend who's seen it all, couldn't have prepared for what was coming. The mystery man attacked with that same signature stomp, that same ruthless efficiency. Later that night, LA Knight found himself on the receiving end of the same punishment, stomped through the announce table in a moment that left the commentary team speechless. You could feel the tension building. This wasn't just about one match or one moment, this was systematic. This was a campaign of terror orchestrated by someone in the shadows, and everyone knew who was holding the strings. Paul Heyman, the wise man, the special counsel, the most dangerous mind in professional wrestling. Throughout this entire saga, Heyman played it perfectly. When Raw general manager Adam Pearce demanded answers, Heyman feigned innocence with that trademark smirk. How would I know? The man was wearing a hood. You presume this is a Machiavellian plan of Paul Heyman's. You assume that I am guilty without giving me the benefit of the doubt that I'm innocent. His words dripped with calculated deception. Everyone watching knew Heyman was involved, it was written all over his face, but he played the game masterfully, denying everything while his Vision faction continued to dominate. The Vision. Braun Breaker, the second-generation powerhouse who moves like a freight train with the agility of a cruiserweight. Bronson Reed, the unstoppable force who crashes through opponents like they're made of cardboard. And Paul Heyman, the architect of it all, the man who's managed legends and created monsters. This faction had one goal: absolute dominance over Monday Night Raw. And with this mystery attacker doing their dirty work, they were unstoppable. The pressure mounted. Adam Pearce had enough. The integrity of Raw was at stake. Matches were being compromised. Superstars were being injured. The locker room was in chaos. So Pearce issued an ultimatum: the masked man's identity must be revealed. Tonight. No more games. No more delays. The truth was going to come out. Fast forward to the main event. Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio. Two incredible athletes with contrasting styles. Paul, the controversial social media star turned legitimate WWE competitor, facing off against Mysterio, the legendary highflyer who's inspired generations. The match itself was fantastic back-and-forth action, near falls that had everyone on the edge of their seats, the kind of wrestling that reminds you why you fell in love with this business in the first place. And then, right on cue, as if reading from Heyman's playbook, the mystery man appeared again. The crowd's reaction was immediate, a mixture of anticipation and dread. Paul Heyman positioned himself perfectly at ringside, distracting the referee with his usual masterful manipulation. The masked figure moved with purpose, sliding into position on the ring apron where Rey Mysterio stood, catching his breath, unaware of the danger lurking behind him. What happened next was brutal. The attacker grabbed Mysterio and delivered that stomp right on the ring apron, arguably the hardest part of the ring. The sound was sickening. Mysterio collapsed, and Logan Paul immediately capitalized, leaping from the top rope with his beautiful superstar splash, hooking the leg. 1, 2, 3. Victory for Logan Paul, but nobody was celebrating the match. All eyes were on that masked figure. The arena was buzzing. CM Punk, the World Heavyweight Champion, had seen enough. He came charging down the ramp with a steel chair in hand, his eyes filled with righteous fury. The crowd exploded. Punk was ready for war, ready to finally unmask this coward who'd been attacking from the shadows. The masked man saw Punk coming and made his escape, not panicking, but moving with calculated precision toward the crowd barricade. He jumped over, disappearing into the sea of fans. But then something unexpected happened. Something that would change everything. Instead of vanishing completely into the crowd like he'd done at Survivor Series, the masked figure stopped. He turned back toward the ring. Slowly, deliberately, he reached up and grabbed the hood. The crowd noise reached a fever pitch. After weeks of speculation, weeks of attacks, weeks of mystery, the truth was finally going to be revealed. The mask came off. And standing there, with a completely new look, shaved head, intense stare, beard that made him look hardened and dangerous, was Austin Theory. The reaction was instantaneous. Some fans had predicted it. Some were genuinely shocked. But everyone understood the magnitude of what they were witnessing. Austin Theory, the former United States champion, the young star who disappeared from WWE television months ago, was back. And he wasn't the same cocky, selfie-taking kid who'd left. This was a different Austin Theory. Darker, more focused, more dangerous. Think about Theory's journey for a moment. He's only 28 years old, but he's already accomplished so much. Two-time United States champion, tag team champion. Someone who Triple H himself once called a future main eventer, a talent with the it factor. But his momentum had stalled. His partnership with Grayson Waller ended. He disappeared from television. Reports surfaced that he'd been removed from WWE's internal active roster. Many wondered if Austin Theory's time in WWE was over, if he joined the long list of talented wrestlers whose potential was never fully realized. But Paul Heyman saw something. The Wiseman, the man who guided Brock Lesnar to legendary status, who stood beside Roman Reigns during his historic title reign, who's mentored the biggest stars in wrestling history. Paul Heyman saw potential in Austin Theory. Not the potential to be a mid-card selfie guy, but the potential to be something truly special. Something dangerous. And so, in typical Heyman fashion, he orchestrated a masterpiece. Theory wasn't just brought back to Raw, he was reintroduced as the most mysterious, most talked about figure in WWE. He wasn't given a random return with a promo and a match. No, Heyman made Theory relevant again by making him dangerous, unpredictable, and essential to the Vision's success. Every attack he carried out weakened the Vision's enemies. Every appearance raised the stakes. Every moment with that mask on built anticipation for this very reveal. Now here's where the story gets even more intense. Austin Theory joining the Vision isn't just about adding another body to the faction. It's about what this means for the future. Braun Breaker is set to challenge CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship on the Raw Netflix premiere on January 5, 2026. That match is already one of the most anticipated bouts of the year. But now, with Theory officially aligned with the Vision, with Paul Heyman pulling the strings, what chaos awaits the Second City Saint? Think about the psychology here. Punk knows Theory is part of the Vision now. He knows what Theory's capable of. But here's the thing about wrestling, knowing what might happen and being able to prevent it are two completely different things. Heyman's already proven he's 3 steps ahead of everyone. He orchestrated Theory's return perfectly, keeping him hidden until the exact right moment. What else does the Wiseman have planned? And let's talk about Theory's new persona. The shorter hair, the beard, the intensity in his eyes when he removed that mask. This isn't the same guy who used to take selfies after every move. This is someone who's evolved. Someone who's hungrier. Someone who spent months away from the spotlight, training, planning, waiting for his opportunity to make an impact. And boy, did he make an impact. I want you to imagine being Austin Theory in that moment. You've been off television for months. People are questioning your future. Some fans have forgotten about you. And then you get the call from Paul Heyman. The special counsel himself wants to work with you. He has a plan. He sees something in you that others missed. But it requires patience. It requires you to stay in the shadows, to be disciplined, to strike only when he says strike. That takes incredible mental strength. That takes belief in yourself and belief in the plan. And when Theory finally stood in that crowd with the mask off, when he locked eyes with CM Punk from across that arena, when the entire WWE universe suddenly realized the Vision just became exponentially more dangerous than validation, that moment of I'm back and I'm better than ever, you could see it in his eyes. This wasn't just a return. This was a resurrection. The implications ripple throughout the entire Raw roster. Rey Mysterio, the veteran who's been victimized multiple times by Theory's attacks, now knows exactly who's been targeting him. LA Knight, another victim of the Mystery Man's brutality, can finally put a face to his attacker. And CM Punk, the World Heavyweight Champion, the man who represents everything the Vision stands against, now has to prepare for his title defense knowing that Austin Theory is watching, waiting, ready to strike at any moment under Heyman's orders. But here's what makes this story so compelling from a wrestling perspective. Paul Heyman doesn't make mistakes. When he recruited Brock Lesnar, he created a monster. When he aligned with Roman Reigns, he helped orchestrate the most dominant championship reign in modern history. When he brought together Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to form the Vision, he assembled a faction of young, hungry, unstoppable talent. And now, with Austin Theory added to the mix, the Vision has everything they need: power, agility, technical skill, and youth. They're not just trying to control Raw, they're trying to reshape it in their image. Think about the landscape of Monday Night Raw right now. The Vision controls nearly every segment. They dictate who gets opportunities. They interfere in matches when it benefits them. They've beaten CM Punk's team at War Games. They've disrupted countless matches. And now, with Theory's identity revealed, they're not hiding anymore. They're standing tall, united, and ready for war. And make no mistake, war is coming. CM Punk isn't the type to back down from a fight. He's faced impossible odds before. He's overcome factions, corporations, and every kind of adversary you can imagine. But this is different. This isn't about backstage politics or personal vendettas. This is about survival. This is about keeping the World Heavyweight Championship around his waist when the Vision has made it their mission to take it. The crowd, man, you could feel their energy through the screen. When Theory removed that mask, the place went absolutely crazy. Some were chanting his name, others were booing the Vision, but everyone was talking about it. Social media exploded instantly. The reveal video crossed 4 million views on Instagram in record time. WWE trend worldwide. This is the kind of moment that reminds you why you're a wrestling fan. This is the drama, the storytelling, the "I can't believe that just happened" feeling that makes you want to talk about it with everyone you know. Now, before we get to what's next, I have to stop for a second and ask you something important. If you're still watching this video, if you've been riding this emotional roller coaster with me, then you're exactly who SLAMZONE is for. We're building a community of passionate wrestling fans who don't just watch the show, we feel it. Every surprise, every betrayal, every triumphant return, we experience it together. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell, join this family. Drop a comment below telling me what you think about Austin Theory joining the Vision. Do you think he's going to help Braun Breaker win the World Heavyweight Championship? Is CM Punk in serious danger? Let's discuss it. Share this video with your wrestling friends because trust me, they need to see this breakdown. We're going to continue bringing you the most passionate, detailed, emotional wrestling content every single week, and I don't want you to miss a single moment. Alright, so where do we go from here? The chess pieces are in place. January 5, 2026, is circled on every wrestling fan's calendar. CM Punk vs. Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight Championship on the Raw Netflix premiere. But now, the stakes are even higher. Theory's in the Vision. Bronson Reed is lurking. Paul Heyman is orchestrating everything. Punk has to be preparing for anything and everything. But here's something else to consider: could there be another mystery attacker? Fans have pointed out inconsistencies in the masked man's build and mannerisms between different appearances. Some believe Theory was the attacker at Survivor Series, but someone else might have been under the hood during other Raw episodes. If that's true, if Paul Heyman has another surprise waiting in the wings, then this story is far from over. Could Ricky Saints from NXT be next? Could another unexpected name join the Vision? The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this so exciting. Adam Pearce, the Raw general manager, is in an impossible position. The Vision is running roughshod over his show. They're attacking his roster. They're manipulating matches. Theory's been revealed, but has anything actually been solved? Pearce demanded answers, he got them, but now what? Can he control this faction? Will he suspend Paul Heyman for his role in all this chaos? These are questions that need answers in the coming weeks. And let's not forget Logan Paul's role in all this. The social media star turned WWE competitor just scored a major victory over Rey Mysterio with Theory's help. Is Paul officially aligned with the Vision too? Or was this a one-time arrangement orchestrated by Heyman? Logan Paul has proven he's not just a celebrity having fun in WWE, he's a legitimate competitor who's winning matches and making an impact. If he's working with the Vision, that adds another layer of complexity to this whole situation. Rey Mysterio, the Hall of Famer, the legend, has been targeted repeatedly. At some point, the master of the 619 is going to want revenge. He's not the type to let these attacks go unanswered. Could we see Mysterio team up with CM Punk to take on Theory and another Vision member? The possibilities for dream matches and compelling storylines are endless. What about Rollins? Seth Rollins, the founder of the Vision, was betrayed by Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman. He's currently recovering from a legitimate shoulder injury, but when he returns, this story becomes even more complicated. Will Rollins see Theory, a potential former ally, now working with the people who betrayed him? Will there be unfinished business? The architect always has a plan, and you know he's watching all of this unfold with great interest. The emotional weight of this storyline is what makes it so special. Austin Theory disappeared from our screens and came back transformed. That's a story we can all relate to, facing setbacks, questioning your path, and emerging stronger and more focused. Whether you're cheering for Theory or against him, you can't deny the impact of his return. You can't deny that Paul Heyman took a stalled career and reignited it in the most spectacular way possible. And that's the genius of Paul Heyman. He doesn't just manage wrestlers, he creates moments. He creates stories that resonate. He understands that wrestling isn't just about moves and championships. It's about emotion. It's about making the audience feel something. When Theory removed that mask and stared into the camera, we felt something. Surprise, excitement, anticipation for what comes next. That's the magic of professional wrestling at its absolute best. As we move toward the Raw Netflix premiere, as we move toward CM Punk vs. Braun Breaker, as we move toward whatever Paul Heyman has planned next, one thing is crystal clear: the Vision is the most dangerous faction in WWE right now. They have youth, they have talent, they have the greatest manager in wrestling history, and now they have Austin Theory. The red brand will never be the same. This is where legends are made, folks. This is where careers are defined. Austin Theory has been given a second chance, a fresh start, and an opportunity to prove he belongs at the top of this industry. Braun Breaker is on the verge of potentially capturing the World Heavyweight Championship. Paul Heyman continues to cement his legacy as the mastermind behind the most impactful moments in modern wrestling. And CM Punk stands in the center of it all, the champion holding the line against this wave of young, hungry talent determined to take everything from him. What a moment. What a reveal. What an absolutely unforgettable night on Monday Night Raw. This is why we watch. This is why we obsess over every detail, every promo, every match. Because when wrestling is done right, when storytelling meets athleticism meets genuine emotion, there's nothing else like it in the world. Before I let you go, I need you to do me one more favor. If you've made it this far, if you've been on this journey with me, then you understand what SLAMZONE is all about. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. Subscribe to the channel if you want more passionate, detailed, emotional wrestling content every single week. We're covering every major moment, every surprise, every storyline development. We're building a community of fans who live and breathe this business just like you do. Turn on those notifications so you never miss an upload. And please, drop a comment below. Tell me your thoughts. Are you excited about Austin Theory joining the Vision? Do you think CM Punk can retain against Braun Breaker? Share this video with your wrestling friends because this is the conversation everyone needs to be having. The mystery has been solved. The attacker has been revealed. But the story is just beginning. Paul Heyman promised he'd always be one step ahead, and once again, the Wiseman has proven why he's the greatest of all time. Austin Theory is back, the Vision is stronger than ever, and Monday Night Raw has never been more unpredictable. Thank you so much for watching. This has been SLAMZONE, where we don't just cover wrestling, we live it. Until next time, keep believing in the magic of this business, keep supporting the superstars who put their bodies on the line for our entertainment, and remember, in wrestling, anything can happen. And that's what makes it beautiful. I'll see you in the next one. Stay passionate, stay hungry, and stay locked into SLAMZONE for all the best wrestling content on YouTube. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to watch that Austin Theory unmasking one more time because I still can't believe it actually happened. What a night. What an absolute unforgettable night.